Hello, thank you for joining us on another episode of Welcome to My World.
You dancing to the music that you just put over this in your head.
Yeah. Hit me, baby, one more time. My loneliness and I. You know Brittany?
No of.
Bet he does. But you're watching her on that Insta, aren't you? Doing them twirly dances and little hot pants.
Instagram.
I'll give the link later.
No, I'm alright.
Welcome back. New year, new videos, new presents. Making videos from new presents, hence being one. Is this video? What are you laughing at?
The way you worded that, hence being one, is this video.
This one. Yeah, we're doing a knife sharpening video today, guys. That's right, knife sharpening. So if you've seen what we got for Christmas video, you would have seen that Sam got some money from our aunt and uncle and he put it towards the present, which was...
Well, it's not a present, it's a purchase.
Towards a purchase that turned into a present, really, because it was from the money, so a present. His knife sharpener. Should we show you knife sharpener?
Yeah, let's get
Come on then, he's got it all set up down there.
Knife sharpener. Is there a picture on that side? There is.
Ta-da! Should we do it? Let's do a thumbnail where we're like... Gorge, that's good, isn't it?
Stupid.
That's a thumbnail. You'll love it when I do it. So this is Sam's knife and tool sharpener. I don't really know anything about it. Sam's done his research. Sam's done his practice. This video is pretty much on you, kiddo.
Fine. So, there's a workshop Ken Onion knife sharpener which looks exactly like this, but isn't this. This is the cheap Chinese imitation of it. So, about a year or so ago, there's Untitled Chapter TV. He did a comparison of the proper version of this compared to a $1,000 knife sharpener.
What do you mean the proper version? The branded version?
The branded one, the
Chinese version.
workshop Ken Onion version.
Ken Onion?
Yeah, Ken Onion. Strange name.
Sorry, Ken, if you're watching. No, I mean, he's not. But...
And at the time, that was $130 for this knife sharpener, and it was better than the $1,000 knife sharpener. But that video got really popular, and now that knife sharpener's over $200.
Because of Old Onion?
Oh, Ken Onion workshop knife sharpener really expensive now.
Ken, you did this.
Well, Tyler Tube? I think that's the name of his channel. Anyway, this is the cheap Chinese imitation of it for $96.99. So...
It's fabulous.
Is it any good? Is it going to be like the cheap Chinese diesel heaters that are actually pretty decent?
Fabulous, that's what we
very cheap.
That's what we brought for the van.
Is this going to be some cheap Chinese knockoff that's made of plastic and just falls apart?
What do we think?
Well, you can find out.
I think the Chinese do it better than anyone.
What, sharpen knives?
Yeah, I think China makes stuff the bestest.
Okay.
Hence, the diesel heater, that's Chinese, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And that was silly price, the real versions, the diesel heaters, and then the Chinese one that we got, my mum brought for the van, was like, what, 230?
Yeah. As opposed to about £800
It was over £200, it was probably over $250, wasn't it? And it was...
It's the exact same thing.
It does the same, so that's what I mean. These things that are made in China are better,
so
in my mind.
There's two versions of this. You can get it with the knife guide adjustable angle or without. This is the one with. It's the Lichuan M2 electric knife sharpener. If you get the M1 version, it's about £16 cheaper, so 80 quid, but you don't get the adjustable angle on it.
Right, so this is the box inside. Sam's going to show you what we get.
So we got some 180 grit belts. I did order an extra pack of belts because I weren't sure how long they would last.
Oh, because I was looking at it, I see you've got double of everything.
Oh yeah, there's double of everything now. 320 grit.
Oh, that's because you ordered the double.
Yeah, you'd normally get just one pack of each. 600 grit.
Oh, but you get multiple in each pack.
Oh yeah. I didn't realise that. I thought you just get one of each. So I thought that's not going to last very long and ordered another pack.
Okay.
And 1000 grit. And the actual knife sharpener itself. So that is the knife sharpener.
Oh, a little beaut. Dun, dun, dun. So what we got is a pan over.
So there's a few different features on it. I guess it's easier to just go through it as a step-by-step thing, and we go from the start.
We're going to try and make this easy because the guides in the box are in Chinese and they're really complicated to understand. So we're going to dumb it down.
Yeah, they're translated very badly from Chinese, and one of the things it says on it, which is very important, is please do not bleed.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's a very good tip. But yeah, let's we're going to dumb it down for you.
Okay, so if you've got the M2 model, you have adjustment for the angle of the knife, which adjusts these paddles here and here. So as I turn this, these move. If you don't know what the angle of your knife is, most kitchen knives apparently are 20 degrees according to what's online and on the manual, so I've just set that on there to 20.
Hopefully you can see. I'm trying to zoom in and out. So that's the 20 that we set it on.
The next part is going to be to install the belt, and if your knives are blunt, like ours are really blunt,
all of them, yeah,
and you haven't sharpened them before, you want to start with the 180 grit, and then going to slowly work up to the 1000 grit.
So what do they go from and to?
So they go 180, 320, 600 and then 1000. So with the belts, some of them have a direction arrow for what direction they're supposed to run, and it's not always easy to see it. Like on this one,
oh, there's only a
you
bit
can
of it
see
left.
there's a direction arrow going that way.
Right.
On this one, you can't really see an arrow anywhere.
Well, how would you know?
Well, from the drawing, it looks like that's upright, so I'm assuming that's part of an arrow going that way. I could be wrong. It doesn't make too much difference. So that's the belt tensioner. In order to put the belt on, you need to push that up. It's easier to try and slide this in from the bottom and get it round all the guides and the drive wheel, and then try and pull it over the top drive wheel, making sure you don't get it in the way of the knife guides.
Is that quite sturdy or could that rip?
The belts are quite sturdy, but they're all a pain to get on. Sometimes
it goes right back?
Yeah, sometimes it helps if you rock this back and forth when you're trying to install it.
Okay.
And then when that's on, this pulls out and twists.
Oh, that locks it.
That's like the guide to run the knife along.
Oh, okay.
It's just something to rest it against.
I was going to say, 'cause if that locked it, it surely could come off still. And that's it was. Oh, this is what you do your knife on.
Yeah, so the knife will sit in here and it'll get dragged this way and you rest it on these rollers.
Okay. Nice.
Alright, so now the belt's on, we just want to check it's running properly and also that it's tracking. So I'm going to very gently pull on the trigger down here. So not going to pull it all the way up because it'll go too fast, just want to pull on it a little bit so the belt's moving.
Oh, does that go, if you press it harder, it goes faster?
Yeah.
Oh, so you have to control that?
Not all the time, just setting up the belt.
Oh, right, okay.
And you can see the belt's really fast to this edge, and you can also hear it's rubbing on the machine. So over here, there's a little lever down here which you can slide, and this is the tracking for the belt. So as I move this up, it centres the belt onto the wheel.
Okay.
And you can hear it's not rubbing quite so bad now, and you can also see it's moved onto the centre of the reel. So it's running just about in the centre. You should only have to do this once, but as belts and things stretch over time, you may have to readjust them.
This is just to set it up?
Yeah, like when I put the next belt on, it should already run centred. It really shouldn't need adjusting.
Okay.
That's as simple as that. So now the belt's on there, the right one. It's running centred, and we've set the angle for the knife.
So we're going to do demonstration now. So normally, cherry tomatoes is something I cut a lot. Our knives, we've got these Taylor's Eye knives, which were really good knives back in the day.
When we bought them, they were very sharp.
Years ago. But like even now, as Sam will demonstrate, cutting a cherry tomato is like a back and forth hack. And it's really...
You can't just push down on it, it creases it. That's putting quite a bit of force into it.
Let me zoom in a bit on that. Hang on a minute. Like literally that is us not pretending like...
Yeah, that's a good bit of force. You can see where it's creasing the tomato. I don't know if the purple one's any better. I think the purple one's a bit sharper.
But still, you shouldn't have to have
like you shouldn't need to saw it.
Yeah. So basically that is...
not very sharp at all.
Our shit knives. So again, it like pushes it in, you know, like when you...
Yeah, it's not actually cutting it so much, you're more of just forcing a blunt object through it. So it does go through, but it's relying on me forcing it through it, not it's cutting through it.
It doesn't glide, let's put it that way.
We're going to sharpen them then and see what happens.
Yeah, so if you do like a step by step
of
how to do it, just for you guys. Like I said, this, like I said, Sam's had a little go on this and sharpened other knives that, oh God, they were terrible. Well, yeah.
Just one knife.
Yeah.
I'm not an expert yet.
Right, so yeah, so we're going to do a demonstration on the knife and tool sharpener. Sam's going to go through step by step how to use it. Sam's like brain box really, because he sharpened one knife with it.
Yeah, just one
and
knife.
Now he's like professional, now he knows how to do it, didn't you?
Well, what I've got from the instructions, but not the instructions that were in Chinese that say please do not bleed.
Yeah, they were...
the instructions that seem to work best is if you go on the workshop website for the Ken Onion knife sharpener. It's basically the exact same thing, and the instructions for that make sense.
Yeah, if you can't bother to do that, we're here to give you a step by step, aren't we?
Aye.
Don't be sending them somewhere else. They come to us for the information. Do you know what I mean?
Please do not bleed.
Please do not bleed. Yeah.
Obviously.
Right, so we're going to set the knife tool sharpener back up, and then we'll be, and then Samwel will be doing his demonstration.
Okay, so before we start sharpening, underneath this is the trigger button to turn the machine off and on, and down here it has a little dial like that. So this is what you use to set the speed when the button's locked off. So you have this here, so you pull down on the trigger, then you push that little button in and it locks the trigger down. When the trigger's locked down, this wheel is what you use to adjust the speed. So you can turn it right down, or you can turn it right up. We're going to leave it in the middle. And then to release the button, click that back down, and the button pops out. So you can sharpen using both hands without having to pull the trigger in. So before we start sharpening, the way you do it is the knife goes in here, and we keep it against this guide on this side, and this guide when we're on this side, so not like that or like that. It needs to be flat up against it. This is what we've just set the 20-degree angle to on the knife, so if we're off like that or off like that or all over the place, it's not going to sharpen properly, because you won't be at 20 degrees the whole way through. You'll be whatever you've held the knife at, and it just blunts it more than sharpens it. So when it's set in the guide and we're drawing it back, it's important that this side of the blade stays against the guide on this side, because we've set it to 20 degrees and it needs to stay at 20 degrees. If we're going like that or any other angle, it's not going to grind it properly. You're just going to blunt the knife even more. So the way in which we're going to use it is when it's running, we're going to put the knife in up against the angle guide, let it come down till it rests on this little wheel down here, and we're going to draw it through 10 times on this side, and we'll do 10 times on this side, and then we swap out the belts to the next grit up. And because we've never sharpened this knife before, we've got to start at the very lowest belt, whereas if we previously ground it and it was just a little bit blunt, we could probably get away with using the 1000 grit, or maybe the 600 then the 1000.
Alright, so Sam's going to do a demonstration, and then we'll do in time lapse.
And we're going to see how much mess we make, because it's going to grind away a lot of knife. So when you're drawing the knife through the machine, we're keeping it on the block and we're pulling it through here and running it across the rollers. But it's also important to follow the curve of the blade. So although this bit is straight, around here it's starting to curve up towards the tip. So as we pull the knife through, it stays straight here, but to follow the angle of the blade, we have to start tilting the knife up.
Alright, so we're going to turn it on now and start doing the passes.
Yeah, so we're going to do 10 passes on this side of the knife, and then we'll do 10 passes on this side before we change the belt.
Yeah. And this belt is?
This is the 180 grit, so because we've never sharpened this knife before, we've got to go from the lowest grit. So we're just about to start sharpening the other side of the knife, but what we can see already is this sharpened side of the knife has a nice shiny edge to it.
Oh, we've took the colour off as well, haven't we?
Yeah, whereas this side is quite dull and blunt looking. So we're just going to start sharpening the other side now. It's going to be the same as before, keeping it up against the block for the angle guide, drawing it through, following the angle of the knife as we go through the belt. So 10 passes on each side. Now it's time to change from the 180 belt to the 320. This little guide wheel just pulls out and rotates. So you rotate that out of the way so you can get the belt off. Pull the tensioner wheel up, and then you can slip it off this top pulley and off the machine. Next belt, again, if there's arrows on it, you need to try and find them. A lot of the time you can't find them, and in all honesty I don't think it makes any difference. But who knows, I can't see any arrows on that one, so
I guess it wouldn't really, would it? Because why would it?
it might just be where they've joined the belt, how it's glued. Like if it's running the opposite direction, maybe the joint isn't as strong.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but
what do I know?
I can't see any directional arrows on that belt, so we're going to go with that. When it's seated on there, sometimes it helps to just turn it a little bit by hand, helps center the belt. And then we've got the same thing as last time, we'll just slowly start it. It looks like it's sitting centered in this top piece, so we're not going to adjust the belt, we're just going to leave it where it is and start sharpening at the next grit level. show you the results. If you want to grind other things on this, like an axe or something, obviously it's not going to fit in that groove, but you can pull this lever down and that reorientates the position of this cassette, so you can use it like that across an axe. Or if you've got like hunting knives and stuff where you don't particularly want to use the knife guide, you can tilt this all the way back so that the belt's running across here, and it gives you a nice surface to just run it across by hand.
Oh wow, that's clever.
So knives are sharp now, all cleaned off. Let's see if they cut any better. So there's a nice edge on each side now, and same on this side. On the red one you can see this knife had a little guard down here, and I started sharpening it because I didn't start in quite the right place. So now our guard is not so much of a guard and more of part of the knife.
So we can cut our fingers.
Well, you've still got a plastic guard back here. You shouldn't really be cutting yourself with the knife. Let's try the red one first, same as last time. We'll try and cut a tomato without just creasing it.
Yeah, because that was the problem. Is zoom in a bit. Oh, that was
very nice. Can we get finer?
Because that was the problem with these. Oh, that's
look at that.
Come on. Literally, when I do you know? Literally, when I was using these knives, it was like I was hacking. Like the smart I was bending.
It's just
that's nice.
No force whatsoever.
Oh, that's nice. That's real nice, kids.
And tomatoey.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try this one on a potato. See if we can slice it instead of forcing our way through it.
Potato.
Yep.
Oh, come on, watch your fingers. I don't think I'll be able to use these anymore.
You can actually hear it cutting just... Like you can go thick with it, or you can do wafer thin slices.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's like no effort at all now.
It's like dinner cut up now, don't have to make dinner. Just pop these in a pot.
You can just go real fine. Can we get right to the edge? Oh.
Steady. Oh.
Okay, it's just getting potato crisps.
That's amazing. If you knew how blunt these knives were, like this is just a dream. I'll get Sam to sit for the rest of the afternoon cutting up the rest of the knives in the kitchen, sharpening the rest of the knives.
It all just cuts nice and easy now.
That's amazing.
Even the tomatoes. Let's just make a mess of the chopping board. It actually sounds sharp when it cuts.
Yeah.
There. So, yeah, I guess for $96.99, it's an expensive knife sharpener. I don't think I would ever put like an expensive £500, £800 knife in it, 'cause you're effectively pulling your knife through a belt grinder.
Well, you would if it went blunt.
No, you'd use like a real professional stone or something for a real expensive knife.
What are you saying? This is a professional.
I don't think I'd run a really expensive knife for it, but for knives like this, like we've had, you buy a nice set of sharp knives which aren't ridiculously expensive but fairly expensive, and then for the next 5 years they're blunt and you never really do anything about it until you buy another set of knives which eventually go blunt.
Okay, that's fair enough.
But for this, it's like you don't need to keep buying another set of knives. A few minutes on that grinder and
basically
nice and sharp again.
We're not professional cooks and we just do cooking in the kitchen, and the knives that we got were good for what we used. They went blunt.
We didn't do anything about it for years.
Yeah, this is literally like, you know, saved so much time and energy, really.
Yeah, it saves just buying more and more sets of knives.
Yeah.
Sparkly bow.
Holly gave me this. Holly just gave me loads of sparkly bows.
Oh.
I am a bow queen now. Right at the back, this is outro. Different day, different outfits. I've got the same outfit on, I can't remember. Do you know what I mean?
I haven't.
Yeah, probably. Outro.
Yeah.
Sum up. You're an knife expert.
Fine. Definitely worth the money. I don't think this will do any different job to the Workshop Ken Onion one. It's going to get your knife reasonably sharp. It's, well, very sharp as you found out.
Cut my finger, didn't I, guys?
It's got a good knife guide and it does the job quickly, and it comes with loads of belts and all the bits you need.
You brought extras?
Yeah.
How much?
I bought another pack, but there was already 5 of each in there. I thought it only come with like 1 of each.
Oh, so each packet come with the different grits, so then you got 5 in each. What, 5 in each?
Yeah, so 5 1000 grit, 5 600, 5 320 and 5 180.
Oh, that's good, but you brought extras. But
yeah, so now there's 5 of each, but you're not going to need that for a long time.
Well, we will, because all our families are going to be coming round.
Yeah, probably. You'll find that when you buy one, say, look how I sharpen my knives. Everyone's like, can you do mine?
My brother was on about it the other day. Like, oh, bring that when you come to Covnex. And then Holly today was like, well, come round for
Come around and you sharpen me knives.
have a knife night.
Have a night with knives. If you're like most people and you bought a knife set years ago and it was like 80, 100 quid or whatever, it will run them through brilliant and they'll come out nice and sharp. But if you've got a special £500 Damascus chef's knife,
would you put it through?
God no. It's very, very aggressive and you can very quickly mess up the blade on it.
Yeah, but if you worked up to a point where you knew how to use it, would you?
I don't know if I would. So I think something like that, where it's a very specialised knife, you should be sharpening it with whetstones and all sorts of like professional gear for doing it.
Oh, so just wait till it rains, find a stone.
Yeah, just go outside, find a pebble, bit of slate will do nicely. I think this is very, very good for what it is.
Would you recommend it?
Yeah, definitely, especially for the price. I can't see what the Ken Onion one would do any different to this for double the price.
Sorry, Ken.
Yeah, the Lychin M2 is just as good.
We'll put the link.
It's half the price.
We'll put the link in the description. Did you say there was two versions? One was...
So the other version was the M1. All
Yeah.
that means is you don't have an adjustable knife guide, which might be fine, because if you want it for sharpening an axe or something like that, you're not even going to use the knife guide.
No, that's an axe.
Not a lot of people, but you're only saving £20 or so by not having the adjustable guide, so you may as well just get the M2 version.
Yeah. So we like it, it's good, it sharpens our knives, it does the job.
Yeah, it's way better than
Fix
any
your
of them
finger.
things you get from Tesco where it's like you got to draw
Yeah.
it through and all the rest of it there. What, 10, 15 quid? But in all honesty, they've never really worked. They haven't sharpened any of our knives up. Maybe if you got it early when your knife was still sharp and you used
you
it to
kept
keep
on
it
top of
sharp,
it, yeah.
yeah. But if your knife's already blunt, it's not going to help you.
Yeah, I was washing out the knife when we last sharpened it. And look at my finger.
Yeah, you did.
I want to stop bleeding for ages. I was scared for my life.
Yeah, they do get to a point of you can get a piece of paper and just go like, shh, straight through it.
And literally, like, the cut was that, it's only little, but like, literally the next day, I like caught it or something, it literally bled again. I was like, oh, for the love of God.
Maybe we won't sharpen all our knives, and then the knives that are still blunt, they're the ones you can use.
I probably should, actually. Right, I think we're done.
I think
hope
so.
you have enjoyed our knife video, and
We're going to start a knife sharpening service for not expensive knives. Get in contact with Lisa and she'll get them shipped back to you.
oh well, no, I will be able to cut my finger off the time I did that. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. See you next week at 7 PM. Unless I've severed an archery or something with
I mean, just like that or something.
one of the other
I
knives.
don't know that one.
Me neither, Alexa. Me neither. Alright, see you next week.
Bye!
Bye.